Heat makers, crack music.
If you ain't got the dough, then
Yesterday, I think Monday, Juan and Adi, I joined the Twitter Spaces. Shout out to @MLB Spaces. I'm going to be live with them. You know what? Let me put this up on the screen. Matter of fact, let me give my man's a pop here. Where we at? He slid into my DMs. He was nice enough to slide into my DMs. Pause. So I'll give him a little pops here. So @MLB Spaces. So tomorrow night on Twitter. And so, Juan and Adi, I'd love for y'all to come join and represent the pod here. But if not, I'll certainly hold us down at MLB Spaces. They want to chat about the Hall of Fame discussion. They're going to have a discussion chat, which ironically is what we are going to talk about. But, he hit me up. He was like, hey, we enjoyed having you on last night. So join this live conversation. So I'm going to join them tomorrow night, 8 p.m. live on Twitter Spaces. So if y'all gentlemen could join on, we can kind of take that shit over and let people know where to come get the real if they want Yankee chat. But so shout out to them. But I was in that space, right? And there was a gentleman in there. It was Yankee fans heavy, and there was a gentleman in there. He was like, yo, Eddie. I was like, what's good, big dog? He was like, yo, I got a scoop. I was like, all right, well, tell me your scoop. And he was like, listen,
What's the scoop?
I know people. He was like, I know people who know
more.
people. Right? I was like, yeah, tell me. Come on, listen. I'm here. And so I was like, please do tell. And so he goes, I know somebody who knows. Right? It's like, yo, my man's who knows his man's. I know somebody who knows the person who does a lot of haircuts for the ball players in New York. Apparently, Juan Soto goes to this guy. Right, so I'm gonna pull up my note here because I took notes. I was intrigued. I was like, oh shit, he's got a Juan Soto bomb. So apparently, he says, this is where a lot of the Dominican ball players, Latino ball players, they get their hair cut at. And
Jordan,
apparently, what's up?
That's Jordan Barbershop.
I don't know. He didn't give a name. He didn't give the name. He refused to give his source. But I like the bombshell, so I'm going to choose to believe it, and I'm going to report it as fact. And so he was saying that he was saying apparently that Juan Soto has been telling anyone who will listen that he is absolutely over the moon about being a Yankee. So much so that he's already loved his experience as a Yankee. He feels like his profile has already taken off to new levels. He's more visible than he ever was, right? And apparently he has begun to push his agent Scott Boras against Boris's desire to at least entertain and not initiate but entertain discussions about a contract extension with the New York Yankees. And so apparently talks have not gotten hot and heavy yet, but parameters are being laid. And so the numbers that this gentleman kind of put out, and so I'll put it to Juan and Adi, the numbers that this gentleman put out, he believes that we are looking at the framework of something like 15 years, 550, Juan Soto to extend. I think 15 years is kind of nuts. And mind you, this is a gentleman on Twitter. But if we are to entertain this as some sort of fact, what do we think? Is that number in the realm of possibility? What do we think? And I do want to put out there as a caveat, I think he turned down a couple of years ago 12,440 from the Nationals. So with that framework in mind, what do you think? I'm gonna go to Juan first.
I mean, that's amazing news. I love it because me, since the rumors about Soto started spreading, I wanted Soto. I was big on Soto the whole time, meaning for us to trade him, and I didn't want to do too much this offseason because I don't want the Yankees to have an excuse as to why they can't give him the check. Because, we would have signed Yamamoto, we signed Snell or Monty. It's like, oh, yes, we got all these free agents. The cap is we trying to stay within certain numbers, and we will exceed it with signing Soto. So I love this meaning that he wants to stay. And New York already loves him, so he feeling the love, and he hasn't even strolled out there in left field yet. So like that's great to hear. As far as the numbers, 15,550, like that's about like 36 and 36.5 a year,
36.
which
Yep.
is good. 15 years, that's great because he's still like people think
He's
that's a
25,
lot,
right?
but he's in his prime. Like he hasn't even reached his prime. So he's still growing as a ball player. So if we got him for the next 10 years, like that's 10 next 15 years, he could play outfield for the next 10, and then we slide him into DH for the last 5. And we got prime time Soto for his whole career. He's gonna retire Yankee, and then we're gonna put that 22 in Monument Park, and it's gonna go right into Cooperstown as well.
That's a fact. Shout out to Dante in the building. He's saying, I won't believe it unless I see it. So I got my son in the chat, and then I also got my OG, my pops. He said, the New York Yankees are not big on long-term contracts. Agreed, but I think Soto is an exception. Adi, what do we think about this unfounded rumor that I'm reporting as fact here on the show?
So listen, man, we're in 2024, right? And nowadays, like everything, if you hear a rumor that you like, it's fact. It's facts. So I'm running with it, and I like it, right? I think Soto is the guy we want. Like Juan said, we're okay. We're not going ham this year because we know we got a big signing coming up. And to hear that he's willing to already at least go to the table is music to our ears. And I think Soto has probably seen the love that he got just this offseason, and everyone's going nuts. I mean, I bought a jersey the day he signed. So the day he was traded. So I would say, bring it on. Again, I'm not the one writing the checks. So as a fan, I like the move, right? The Yankees are being the Yankees. I know Senior, all due respect, he said, we don't do long-term contracts, but this is a unicorn. And he's 25 years old. He's not injury prone, knock on wood, and he looks like he wants these big lights. I don't know who was the announcer that when he was 18 years old playing in the World Series was just like head over heels over him. Remember, there was just like, oh, look at this 18-year-old boy. Look at this 18-year-old boy. Well, guess I'm that dude. Look at this 25-year-old, bro. He has not hit his prime. He has not come to the big screen, and he's ready for it. He's ready for it. This is what the Yankees need. And guess what? He's already shaved. He already shaved. You know what I mean? He doesn't even grow a beard, so he's good to go. He passes the test.
Yeah, and I've got to say, so I think put the extension and the numbers out of there. I think that is hyperbole, but I think the part of the rumor that does make sense is the fact that he is really enjoying the extra kind of ancillary perks of being a Yankee, right? Because he's a superstar, he's a stud, he is essentially already a household name within Major League Baseball. But once you don the Yankee pinstripes, right, and you become a part of the Yankee organization, it's different. And then especially when you factor in, Washington Heights, the big Dominican fan base that he's going to be playing in front of, the fact that he's got family here that is going to love to watch him play. I could envision a world where he's like, yo, I mean, this is where I want to be, all things being equal. And we kind of thought that was going to happen, and so maybe some of this is wishful thinking, but hearing that, it definitely made sense from the standpoint of, I see him all over social media. I don't know, and you guys might have followed him before I did. I mean, was he always as active and social media savvy? It feels like, I mean, he's everywhere now, and that could just be because my algorithm is showing me Yankee shit. He's a Yankee now, but it feels like he is a lot more visible to me anyway than he used to be. Is that a fact, or is he kind of doing what he always did, and I'm just seeing it more because he's here? What do you think about that?
I can just say real quick, I think this shows the difference between East Coast, West Coast, right? Soto got a big buzz when he was in Washington, which is not the biggest market, but at least you were hearing about him. He went down to the Padres, which had a stacked team, and you even with Machado, like you don't really hear much of these dudes. I don't know if it's because we're in our little bubble, but coming to the East Coast, it's a vibe, man, and I think he's feeling it. Like I know later on we'll talk about our other boy who's feeling the love, signing with the Yankees. But
sure,
yeah, man, I think him being strategic, him being like you said, more active on social media, more active is only building the brand, and that's how you're gonna get 15 years.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
No, I agree. Maybe it's more like he's in his walk year, so he's trying to like he's playing both sides of it as well. Like he's smart.
Of course,
he knows he got to be active. He knows he wants the love of the fans, but he likes the lights. So it's like he came here wanting to be here, and him wanting to extend or just stay here. Like that shows that he's not scared of the lights, and being that he probably has a lot of family here, and it's easier. And it's New York, the biggest market in the world, the best team in all of sports is the Yankees, and he wants to don the pinstripes and retire that way. So like I feel he's taking the effort and like extending himself to the New York media to try to like put his foot forward and like make his presence known that he accepts being the one of the faces of the Yankees moving forward.